Hello, hi, it's me again. Okay, so I wasn't actually really prepared for this video. It's just gotta happen. But something happened this morning and I thought I would like to share it because it might be a good example. But real quick, I just have to share this. This is the weirdest thing. You look outside and there's this blizzard going on. Right after I had talked online on that Depression Wonders website, I was talking to someone and we were talking about how the weather's weird because it's been so warm, even though it's December. and now there's a blizzard outside. It's weird. But here's the really weird thing. My brother just got back from the store and he said, you go a block away and it's clear blue skies. So this is what it must be like to live inside of a snow globe. Anyway, okay. That was just my side thing. Actually, I had another thing I wanted to tell you about too, but that's actually just a personal thing. I now know the reason behind one of my dreams that I used to have. I watched Fried Green Tomatoes last night. Anyway, it's a whole nother thing. Maybe I'll make that video later. I don't know. But I really want to, this is the important stuff. So let me do this one instead. Hold on, I gotta remember how I opened up this. In the hour that I've been awake, I have done a whole list of stuff that I did not originally have a list to do. And now I'm just like starting to come back down. But while I was doing these things, rushing around and kind of getting frustrated in the middle of doing so, while other people were just kind of walking around, I'm rushing around. Yeah. I talk to myself quite often. It'd be really nice if I could just record it when I do it, but can't. Anyway, so sorry. So so the example that I have for you. Sorry, I'm out of breath. The blizzard, and a snow globe. Anyway, so we've all had those times where that was not how I wanted to open it. That's not how it sounded. So good when I said it out loud to myself earlier. I was talking to myself. Oh my gosh, I sound amazing when I talk to myself. There's a reason for that though. You'll see if you'll figure it out. Maybe by the end of this video, you'll actually figure it out. So we've all been in situations where you're doing a lot of stuff, right? And like for the example I'm gonna give you is like you're a single parent and you're in school and you're working and you're working towards that goal, right? And you've got your family to help you and stuff, and that's great. But on this particular day, you have a meeting you have to get to at work. You still have to find like something that involves work, like your name tag or something. I don't know, something. And then also you've got to get those papers printed out for school because on your way to work, you've got to drop those off at the school where the teacher won't get them in time. And on top of that, oh my goodness, your kids need to eat, right? And need to get, those little last minute things taken care of before you actually walk out the door. Sorry. So you're frazzled. You've got work for this hand and work for this hand and work for this hand and this hand and this hand, but you still only have two hands. And you're running around, kitchen, dining room, bedrooms, all that, trying to find all the just superpower of the world, right? All the while, let's say your mother is sitting at the table drinking her coffee. Now, in this situation, we're thinking, how can you not see me, right? Oh, I remember how I was going to open the conversation. When we ask for a help and then we get upset we don't get it, but you don't realize that you didn't actually ask for help. You just assumed because of the way you hinted or because of what made sense to you in front of you that other people should see that too, right? Okay, so that was actually supposed to be the opening. It was supposed to be a little different. But anyway, back to where we were. So here's Mom sitting at a table, sipping her coffee, staring at the window. Probably, maybe at a blizzard. I don't know. But she's just, la 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 la, everything's calm. And here's your world. You're in the snow globe with the blizzard. Oh, let's look at you. Oh, that's so cool. That happened today. Sorry. It's like you're in the blizzard, you're in the snow globe, you're rushing here, you're rushing there, you gotta get this done, you gotta get it outside the snow globe. La, 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 la. Right? Okay. Anyway. So, of course, it's not the same for everybody, of course. But in this particular example, we're going to say as you get more and more frustrated and a little more angry, right? Because you're probably making comments as you go along. Things like, I just wish I had help, or, I, if I could just get some of this stuff done, or if other people would do their stuff, or just whatever. I'm not going to go into a whole list of stuff. You know what I mean. But you never specifically say to that person by name, hey, Mom, can you help me this way specifically? Take care of the kids, get them dressed, get their food. Or can you go to the printer and have that paper printed out from my school? It's already pulled up. This is what you have to do. And one of the reasons why, of course, we don't automatically want to do that is because that just adds more work to our work, right? That's just added more, take more time away from what we're already working on. Just simply go and explain to somebody something. Now, here you are, you're frazzled, you're frustrated. And the biggest thing that's starting to get more frustrating than anything is the fact that this person sitting there sipping their coffee, looking out the window, can't see how frustrated you're getting. They can't see there's things to be done. They can't see it. And it's getting more and more frustrating and making you angry because you cannot imagine how they cannot be seeing this. Well, it might get to the point where you end up saying something not so nice, or maybe even throwing the toast across the room, before finally yelling at the person and saying, how can you not see that something's going on here? And all of a sudden they kind of look over at you and they're all so calm way. Oh, did you need some help? Sorry. Takes a moment. Even the example is just kind of like, in my own head. Just Does it look like I need help? Was this not obvious to you? Okay, so stepping away from the example now. So the truth is, no, it wasn't obvious. No, it wasn't. For as much as you think it is, it's not. And I'll tell you why. Because that functional side of the brain that can kind of be a little selfish sometimes only sees what we see, and that's what makes sense to us. So when we look at our situation and we see a need for help, or we see, what's going on, this is what makes sense to us. And of course, in our mind, if we saw somebody in that same situation, we would offer help because that's just what makes sense. But what you see is not the same thing as what other people see. And you're over-focusing especially on the fact that what you're seeing is making sense to you and only to you, because you're getting more frustrated. Because the actual process in your brain, regardless of what's going on, the fact that you are busy in the way that you are, that you've had to speed things up to get this done, to get this done, to get this done. This isn't emotionalizing. This is becoming an over-functionalizing thing, which again, it's an imbalance, and that's, an imbalance is okay, right? As long as it resets itself, it's okay. And because of that imbalance, though, you're now able to get that stuff done. See, your normal pace is this. But by becoming imbalanced, you've now sped up that pace. I know, isn't it amazing how those little things, how the balance and imbalance, oh, wow. Anyway, sorry, tangent. But because of the imbalance, now you're able to speed things up. But also because of the imbalance, your functional side is now over-functionalizing. So now it's over-focusing, which means it's also going to get angry or frustrated a little bit more faster. Because when things make sense to us, then we're kind of good. and we're kind of handling it, we're kind of rolling with it. But when they don't, especially the closer and closer to home, so to speak, when it, not just home necessarily, but what makes sense to us, and that also includes our family. um, well, the more frustrated we can get, because we become more and more selfish in our thinking as well. So, so when a situation like that happens, and for as much as you think, you've got to be able to see what I'm going through. Now, I'll give you another quick example of that as well. I'm going to use the cliche husband and wife argument. When the wife looks at the husband and says, well, if you don't know or can't see what's wrong, I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, that's sorry. even saying it, I'm like, oh gosh, it's like a mistake waiting to happen. Everybody does it. We all do it, but that's one of the reasons why we all do it, because the functional becomes very selfish and sees things the way that it makes sense to us. To that wife, what she is upset about makes sense to her. She's probably even talked about it in the past. She's probably said things like, well, maybe you could help around the house more, or maybe you could do more things around the house. Now she, in her mind, because she knows why she said that, she knows that this makes sense to her, because she's probably most likely thinking of times where, maybe the grass could have been cut or the dishes could have been done, whatever. So she already knows automatically why this makes sense to her. But saying that statement doesn't make sense to the husband, and the reason why is because number one reason, you use the word maybe. Maybe does not mean definite. When people say, maybe you could help, that doesn't necessarily mean I need your help. Specifically, say that person's name, I need your help. Sorry, this doesn't work that way. Now, the ability to say what if and think outside the box, so to speak, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. And what I'm really going to try and say and try and enforce here is, even though that chance is there, I'm going to say that probably the better thing to do is to start training yourself to think in the manner that people do not what if unless you say something specific. Sorry, I didn't word that very well. Oh well. At least it's out there. And then people, if they have any questions about it, can say, what did you mean by that? And I can explain it better, maybe. I probably would explain it even better, because then actually a specific request for specific information has been made. This is why I talk so well in person with people about their problems. The nurse that I've never met before, I walk in, I talk to her, and within 2 seconds, I'm already explaining stuff to her, and without any problem. It's just rolling off the tongue. No issues at all. Anyway, see and eat, feel and eat. But, so back to that conversation. The maybe is the number one. That's a problem. And number two, that statement in itself is so open to interpretation, it's almost not even worth looking at. Because when you say around the house, there's nothing specific there. Around the house could be doing something around the house, could be, well, taking a walk around the house. And that it works, right? It fits, technically. Even though the wife obviously means the grass, the dishes, whatever else. Without being specific, no good. And even better, more so, is actually making the list. I know the honey-do list is annoying, but actually making the actual list, and sometimes even being specific in step 1, step 2 of certain tasks, is what you have to do. Because you have to remember, functionally speaking, seeing is believing. Seeing that list is now being able to say it is real. It is something, and seeing something we can now make sense of it, right? So, yeah, I just wanted to share. Again, it sounded so much better when I said it to myself earlier when I was frustrated and cleaning and, scrubbing floors and everything. But I think I got at least the point somewhat across. Till next time. Bye.